Hey, hello, friends. I am so excited to be here and sharing this information. So, I'm Kelly Bradley. I'm the founder of Age Well Home and Lifestyle. And Age Well Home and Lifestyle is a company that helps people who are midlife and beyond consciously curate their next chapter. And Age Well Home and Lifestyle is now 1 year old, but it marries my 25 years of work experience. Let me just share a little bit of my background so you know where I'm coming from. And then we're going to dive into 10 things you can start to look for in your aging parents if you're visiting them over the holidays or you're visiting them anytime. But it'll be 10 things to start to look for so you know, like, okay, maybe some changes have to start happening. Maybe we have to think a different way. But let me share a little bit about myself first. So, I'm a licensed real estate broker here in Oregon. I'm an interior designer, certified aging in place specialist, licensed physical therapist, founder of Lifestyle Design, True Self Lifestyle Design. And in addition to the physical therapy work, while I was practicing as a physical therapist 25 years ago, I also got certified in a variety of holistic modalities from yoga, Pilates, gyrotonic exercise, nutrition, healthy food, chefing, all kinds of things. So I marry that 25 years of work experience in real estate, interior design, again, certified aging in place, physical therapy, healthcare, all of it together informs Age Well Home and Lifestyle. And the big catalyst that made me even think of Age Well Home and Lifestyle, which part of it was in a dream, but was my mom's passing. So my mom passed away 2 years ago. She went into hospice and passed away. And then my dad fell while my mom was in hospice and went into long-term care. And both very young. My mom was 68 when she passed away. My dad he was 71 when he fell. So he is 73 now. Very young, so young. I didn't get to do a lot of the stuff that I help my clients do with their aging parents, with their multi-generational family, because mine passed away early. But I didn't even know about this stuff during that time. And that gap is what didn't force me, made me want to start Age Well Home and Lifestyle. That gap for the sandwich generation. So I'm the sandwich generation. My main client I work with is the midlife woman sandwich generation human who is raising younger kids and having to navigate what to do with their aging parents. And it's the mainstream world way of being that makes it challenging. So 3 things I want you to take away from today, in addition to the 10 things I'll guide you on. And I'm going to do a full podcast on this. So if you want to listen to a full podcast later on, I will make sure that Amanda gets that too. But 3 things I want you to really take away. 1, we need to reframe aging. And this is Age Well Home and Lifestyle is helping with all of these things. So we don't just provide services in regards to the real estate, interior design, renovating houses to be aging in place accessible, and providing lifestyle design, coaching, and mentoring for the midlife woman and the people they're caring for. Not only that, but also the thought leadership side of things, the changing the mindset, reframing aging. So 1, I want you to think aging is an opportunity. I didn't get to, again, help my parents navigate their older years. It is a privilege and opportunity to age. Aging is amazing. It's an opportunity. We can be curious about aging, and that's why I verbalize it in that way, that I help people midlife and beyond to consciously curate their next chapter. It is a joy. It's a curiosity. It's an opportunity. You know, the biggest regret of the dying is that they did not live in alignment with their true self, that they didn't live true to themselves. And that I keep as a foundation in regards to Age Well Home and Lifestyle. I say, we are here to help people. The quote you'll see on my Facebook and different places, to age well is to live well, and to live well is to live as your true self. Again, to age well is to live well, and to live well is to live as your true self. And my framework in regards to lifestyle design is what helps you uncover that true self so that you don't die with regrets. Both the midlife person who is caring for the older individuals and the older individual. It doesn't matter how old you are. I do not want you dying with a lot of regrets. We all have some, but we don't want a whole boatload, okay? So number one takeaway today is we are reframing aging. Aging is a privilege. It is a joy. Two, the key is, one is that mindset shift. Two, we need to learn new knowledge and make new choices. So learning new knowledge, making new choices. Age Well, again, we provide real estate, interior design, lifestyle coaching. And when I say interior design, remember, it's renovating homes to be future-proof, aging in place, accessible, universal design, plus non-toxic and healthy materials. So again, number two, you're learning new knowledge and you're taking different actions. You're being proactive, making these choices as soon as possible. And once you change the mindset, you do number one, you reframe aging. Number two, you start to learn new knowledge to make new choices. You feel better making new choices. You're excited to make new choices in regards to your real estate, your home design, and your lifestyle, all to help you age well better. And ideally, I see more and more people multi-generationally wanting to live, selling two houses and finding a home to curate, create into a multi-generational compound. I don't like that word compound, but home, estate. It doesn't have to be a huge home. It just needs to be designed and renovated smartly. So something I did do is I'm in partnership in a company with an architect. So when I have bigger renovations to do for multi-generational or whatever it is, Jen and I work together. Jen is the architect behind some of the projects. And then number three thing I want you to take away is emotional support. It is not easy. In midlife, when you are that sandwich generation, and again, I often talk to that midlife woman, and that's who I was. The midlife woman is often helping to tend to the kids, tend to her career. Most midlife women have to work, tending to her health and well-being, which is changing with menopause and perimenopause, and then helping to tend to the aging parents in the family. It could be her parents, or it could be the spouse's parents, or all the parents. So emotional support. You are not alone. And the foundation again of Age Well Home and Lifestyle is I help people stay in a calm nervous system state. There are going to be moments where you upregulate, you get into a stress response, but you can't make big choices in a stress response. You most likely won't make the best choices for you or your family in a stressed out state. And that's also why I say don't be reactive. Don't wait for a fall. Don't wait for your parents to fall and break the hip and be in the hospital and quickly have to renovate the house so that they can come home with their walker or wheelchair. Quickly do a bathroom remodel and then it ends up looking not fantastic and decreasing the value of the house. There's a lot of things to think about and when you're proactive, you can, again, consciously curate in a way that's in alignment with your true self to move forward. So those three things. One, again, you're reframing aging. It's an opportunity. It's a privilege. Two, you're learning new knowledge to make new choices in regards to whether it's lifestyle, real estate, your home, whatever it is, you're making new choices. Three, emotional support. You're not alone. If I don't have the resources for you, if you need something else, I will help you find that. Okay? So now let's dive into the 10 things, and I have my notes here so I don't forget. 10 things I want you to start to look for when you are at your aging parents' home over the holidays or anytime, or maybe you are an older individual and some of these things will be like, oh yeah, I'm starting to do that. And remember, it's not bad. It's not a crisis. There are solutions. Okay, so let's dive into the 10. First, look for mobility changes. So, as a licensed physical therapist, and I still am licensed, I'm currently going through, we have to renew our license every 2 years, and I'm going through a bunch of gerontology courses, the updated ones, to be updated on all that new science. But mobility, look for mobility changes in your loved ones, or maybe you. Are you starting to shuffle your feet? Are they starting to shuffle their feet? Are they walking more hunched over, posture going down, less breath getting into the lungs? You see them struggling a bit more to do things, to bend down and put their shoes on. Maybe they can't reach up to the cupboard as well. So their mobility is changing. Maybe they used to love to go to the farmer's market and now you visit them and they're like, no, I don't want to go. So you see changes in that. So look for mobility changes. Okay, that's number one. Two, the home feels different. This is a big one. So clutter starts to pile up. Mail starts to pile up. It's not as clean as it used to be. Maybe your parents or you used to really keep a tidy home, and things are just looking a little bit different. Keep an eye out for that. Three, medication confusion. Very common and often overlooked. So just start to notice if maybe you notice they didn't take their medicine for a few days, or pill bottles have not been renewed. So just take a notice on their medication. And remember, if you find any of these, it's not a crisis, it's just information. I look at us, and I say this in my lifestyle design work for any age, we're detectives. We are just detectives gathering clues on our life journey. To uncover our true self every day, every moment is just a way for us to put our detective hat on and get curious. Same thing here. We are just getting curious. We know the life journey. We're all going to pass away. But what is the quality of life we get to live while we're still on this earth? The sooner we tend to these things that we start to see, the better quality of life. And that's the important thing, the quality of life. Okay, number 4, personal hygiene and clothing. Maybe you notice you, or again, your loved ones, smell a little bit. They're not wanting to take a shower. The shower is huge, and this is one of my specialties, is creating primary suites, bathrooms with curbless showers, really safe bathroom, non-slip floors, grab bars at the right places. And remember, this type of design, universal design, aging in place design, it is still aesthetically pleasing, joyful, in alignment with whatever your style is. But a curbless shower, again, non-slip floors, grab bars at the right places, the ability to get up and down off of the toilet easily, the ability, if you're in a wheelchair, to go under the counter to wash your hands. We just make changes, and there's no judgment. Okay, and that's where the reframing of aging, reframing of all of this. It's so smart to have a home that's universally designed, and a universally designed home is just a home where all bodies in all ways of being, whether somebody has a disability, they could be 10 years old with a disability, or they could be 80 years old with a walker, all bodies can function in a home that's universally designed. And a universally designed home is more easily made into an aging in place accessible home. And we know, and this is a big thing with the housing and in regards to my real estate license and work, we know that most people want to age in place. They don't want to go to a home. They don't want to go to a community. So we need more homes that are accessible. If I'm remembering the correct stat, I think 1% of homes, or maybe it's 3%, but a very small amount of homes in the United States are aging in place accessible. So the key, and we have so many people aging, so many people getting older every day. That stat is about 10,000 people becoming 65 or older every single day. So it's a housing crisis. We need more accessible housing for the aging population that's increasing. Okay. So it's smart in all areas of life to have a universally designed or aging in place home. And again, to reframe aging, that it's not something to be shameful to have grab bars. It's smart. All people who can benefit from a grab bar can then benefit, if that made sense. Okay, number 5, dents in the car. This is really common. I see it often. Little dents, little bumping into here with the car, bumping into there with the car. So look out for little new dents in, again, either your car, or maybe you'll know if it is you, if you are the aging person listening to this, you're like, oh yeah, I kind of am bumping into things a little bit more, even into the curb occasionally. And it's not anything to be ashamed about. Remember, as we age often, we're a mind, body, emotion, soul system. Our mind tends to go downward a bit. Our physical abilities go downward a little bit, or a lot, different per person. Emotionally, we often become more wise, and spiritually, soul-wise, we become more wise. So those areas often go up or improve. Now, our mental abilities, our physical abilities don't have to go down. And that's where, again, being proactive, lifestyle design, your movement, your exercise, your nutrition every day, being smart in all of those areas, those are part of the solution, okay? So watch out for things with the car, and also just a hesitancy to drive. Maybe they used to love to get out in the car. I think of my grandfather. He was a Corvette person. He loved Corvette shows. He had Corvettes, and he just stopped wanting to drive. And he was just a proud man. He would never say, I can't, or I can't see as well, I'm scared. But he just decided, nope, I'm done driving, and left it at that. So just look out for these things, okay? Number 6, repeating themselves more than usual. So you notice, we all do that sometimes, but maybe it's after 5 minutes they repeat the same thing. So just notice the things they're saying. If they start to repeat things more often, they don't remember that they've said things in the past. And you just start to get curious about this. Again, it's not a crisis. It's just information you're gathering as that detective. Number 7, weight loss, poor appetite, expired food in the refrigerator, or lack of food in the refrigerator. And I often see this too. I'll go into a home to do an aging in place assessment, and there's nothing but milk, and often spoiled milk in the refrigerator. And they don't want to ask for help. They don't want to be a burden. And again, this is where we can reframe aging. Oftentimes, again, when I'm talking to the midlife woman, it's usually the woman, but midlife people, the sandwich generation, about their aging loved ones, they say, I don't know how to talk to my parents about this. Every time I try to talk about it, they just push me away. So something I do with my clients is we strategize, because every family dynamic is different. There's a lot of history, we all have traumas, we all have stuff. How to optimally bring this up to our aging parents, making sure they understand that they're not a burden, that again, we're shifting this, we're reframing this, that like, wow, we get to get curious now and uncover how we all want to consciously curate the next chapter, okay? So again, 7 was look for weight loss, poor appetite, no food in the refrigerator, lack of food in the kitchen, things like that. Number 8, just withdraw emotionally and socially. Maybe they stop texting as much. Maybe they stop calling as much. Maybe you notice that their curiosity goes down. They stop doing their social activities. Their friends start to pass away. This is a huge one. As we get older, the friend group passes away. That's a lot of grief. Grief is intense. I did a whole podcast on grief. I highly recommend you listen to it with a grief expert who wrote a very good, simple book to read. But grief is intense, and grief is not something you get over. It builds up, and we have to learn how to navigate that emotion. And as I said, we're a mind, body, emotion, soul system. And often as we get older, we get more emotionally intelligent. So grief is something we need to learn better. So watch for them withdrawing emotionally and socially. Number 9, struggling with technologies they used to use easily. This could be TV, their computer, the phone. So just look for new struggles there. And just looking at their overall house. If you walk into their house and you're just like, this is not safe anymore, because you're seeing it through a different lens. So if your aging parent or you, if they're shuffling their feet a little bit more, they can't reach things. If they have on their flooring throw rugs that are bent up, that they're going to trip over. You see stuff, you see piles of magazines, piles of mail that if you pick one thing up, everything falls. You see everything, all the dishes kind of piled up tightly together that they could easily fall. Maybe in the shower, again, you see water on the floor, easily slip. You start to see the home, and again, this is when I do an aging in place assessment of a home or looking at anyone's home. The lens I see it through is, again, the healthcare, the physical therapist. And 25 years ago, I started out doing home assessments. I had been doing home assessments, and they weren't even called aging in place assessments. Aging in place wasn't a thing at that time. They were just safety assessments for my patients. We'd be working in the clinic, and when they were ready to be released to the home, I went to the home to do a safety assessment. And things like, this is one of my first gentlemen I worked with, and I tell a story in other podcasts too, but 83-ish years old, but walking with a walker. We got him really good in the clinic. Okay, he was ready to go home. When I did the home visit, I was like, oh my gosh, it was stairs, clutter, hallways were small, disaster for safety in regards to the home. And this is something we see statistically, is even if you get somebody, if somebody has a fall, whatever it is, they're in the hospital, they go to rehab, they're ready to be released, they go back home, they're more likely to have another fall, they're more likely to have another injury, often because the home is not set up optimally. So this is not just about the human, it's about home and lifestyle. It all works together. And so remember that again. This is something to take away too. We're looking at the home, the human, and the lifestyle. And the lifestyle is the human living in the home and outside the home. But it's all of those things together. Okay? So those are 10 things you can remind yourself, and listen to this again, and I'll do a more thorough, full podcast on this. Start just getting curious. It's not a crisis. It's an opportunity to think differently about life and to take action in a different way. Okay, and remember those 3 things I want you to take away. 1, we're reframing aging. Aging is an opportunity. It can be a joy. You get to experience these decades with your loved ones, your parents, your aging grandparents, whomever it is. It's an opportunity and a privilege. And again, if you're the one aging, it is an opportunity and privilege to be 80, 90, early hundreds, mid hundreds if you get there. Elders are wise. As we get older, we get more wise. And that's where, again, we do not want to be on our deathbed and have regrets. Number 1 foundation is, how can we live in alignment with our truth? So 1, you're reframing aging. It's a joy, privilege, and you get to uncover your truth and radically live that in the moments of your life. Number 2, you're learning new knowledge, so you have lots of resources. There is so much you can do with your lifestyle, your home, again, renovation, design, to change the moments that you get to spend with your family members intergenerationally and multi-generationally. Okay, it's not just midlife and beyond, especially multi-generationally. I love to see the youngins being raised by the elders, and the elders receiving that joy from the young ones. Okay. 3, I'm here to support you. Any questions, any resources. If it's not something I do, I call myself an integrator. I love to find the resources and share the good resources out there for everybody, midlife and beyond, in regards to their home and lifestyle. Okay, that is it. That's a little bit longer than 10 minutes. That was 25 minutes. I hope this is not too long. But any questions, reach out. Website is Age Well Home and Lifestyle. Email, text, cell phone number is 202-320-5025. Email, everything's on the website. So connect with questions. Okay, we are here. We are a young company just getting started, and it's my joy to help families consciously curate their next chapter.